Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And
I don't even know where Booby is. Booby. Did I say Booty?
well, why not? Booby and Booty.
VEKTOR.
Yeah, this one. This is a new. It's the Extreme Underground. It's a new alliance.
Actually came into being from the Epic Underground. Okay. Okay. The Epic Underground used to dabble in most genres, but because of half their members preferred power and progressive heavy metal and the other half preferred more extreme genres like thrash, death metal, black metal, blah, 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 they split into two alliances so they could focus on their preferred genres.
See?
Okay. So, there's a little history if you guys wanted to know. They have the history of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
This is a history. I guess the two alliances couldn't get along. Everybody's coming at us for black on black crime. Well, there's alliance on alliance crime. What about that?
The alliances are, if you're a patron of ours, even if you're just, donating at $1, anywhere from $1 up, your dollars transfer to points, and so then you're able to vote on certain songs that you want and get those songs. But you get into the group that holds the songs you're looking for, and then it kind of bumps those to the top. So today we're doing VEKTOR Force of Legend.
Forests of Legend. I thought you said force.
Forests of Legend.
We did one VEKTOR song before.
We did. Which is how we got these shots.
Yeah. Well, this is not a VEKTOR shirt. This is a Middle America. This is a Middle America shirt.
And I'm still able to fit in it, even though I have my belly.
I'll eventually get back to Middle America. Good Lord. There's like 15 shows we could have shot.
Yeah, but I think that people understand. It's the holidays have been here, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Plus, I had a different group in internet world that wanted some attention.
You've been actively participating in.
Yeah, but I'm pulling back from them now because anyway. All right, so Middle America, Vin and Sori, and then that's down there on the thingamajig if you want it.
If you want to see behind the scenes what happens around our house, check out My Sori Life. I posted a video because I was laughing so hard last night. The boys were asking me this morning, what were you laughing about, Mom?
Other people's suffering? The Schadenfreude?
So, yeah, but don't say what it is. Don't say what it is. So anyway.
I just said it. I said Schadenfreude.
Yeah, but they don't know what. Anyway, but most people were responding and saying that they also think that that's really hilarious. Except one person was like, I guess you
Schadenfreude is a common phenomenon. That's why it's named something. So that doesn't help you.
Yeah.
Lord.
Well,
you could put up some racist thing and you'd get a bunch of people that would say,
true.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true. That's true. But for some reason, it doesn't make me feel so terrible. But the fact that it gets you so many views means, like, the fact that those videos that I like to watch get so many views, that means there's a lot of people like me. Anyway, so yeah, let's get into some VEKTOR.
All right, Force of Legend. Let's do it.
And go.
All right, all right, all right. I feel like we're gonna rate these songs in a vastly different way.
I do believe so.
You liked the first one,
Yes.
the first Vector song.
I did.
We did that like.
And I liked the beginning and the ending of this one, but all that stuff in the middle was just too much on the conveyor belt.
You don't seem to like thrash very much.
I don't like feeling like I'm pushed.
You don't like all that.
I don't like too fast
stuff. Yeah, you
Nope.
don't like that stuff.
And I can appreciate the fact that that must be very difficult to do because, you know, like that little piece you were showing me today to do?
Yeah.
And that was hard for me, my fingers weren't like going, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, of course it was my first time, but I'm used to an acoustic. And even what I do in the acoustic is extremely basic. G, D, A.
Yeah.
A minor.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff's hard to play.
So to do this and go that fast, like that's gonna be crazy. I don't like it. It's not my thing at all. You like it?
I loved it.
Yeah, you like thrash? Like
Well-
they call it thrash?
Well, there's some thrash that's like, it's so fast it just
Yeah.
sounds like mud, but I like when I can hear the distinct notes that are being played. And they
Good.
definitely did that. These
Yep.
guys are super duper technical. I don't know what the actual genre is. I don't really care what the name of the genre is. These guys are just very, very technical, very epic. This is the second song I've heard from them, and it's always mega technical and epic, and I love that. Love that
Progressive
stuff.
thrash.
Progressive thrash. Yeah, I definitely see some prog elements there, for sure. For sure. But
So.
they were thrashy enough to where the pretentious silliness that usually follows prog, which is why I generally hate that genre,
Wasn't there. Yeah.
And did you get a peek at the lyrics? What did you think the lyrics were about?
No, I only saw a little bit of the lyrics at the end, and it just reminded me of, you know, when something dies and then something grows from that death, and then like a forest. Anytime I'm walking in the woods and I see like a bunch of fallen trees, like I'm like, wow, like all of this death, but then there's moss growing on it. There's other things growing from it, and so life always comes from death. And I just got that from the ending, but I don't know.
I think this is a commentary on probably on deforestation and industry, and throw in a little bit of the Gaia hypothesis.
Oh, really?
The Gaia hypothesis is the idea that the Earth is sort of collectively alive and sentient and conscious to some degree, which then makes clear cutting and deforestation even more egregious.
Right.
From that perspective. And the reason there's a couple things that make me think that. Number one, this line right here where it says the great ape returns disconnected and changed.
Yeah.
It's the idea that, you know, we are, you know, apes, you know, we're evolved primates, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And so we return back to our origin, which is the forest, but we're disconnected from it and we're changed, and then we go and destroy it. See?
Oh, yeah.
So we were from there. This is where we originated. We originated
Ancient
from a forest.
kingdoms,
per se.
creeping lines, split apart by roots of time.
Right.
Yeah.
And we return, and we have no recollection of the
Yeah.
fact. We're destroying our
Twisted
original
circuit we call our mind.
Right. Right. And then when it talks about giants.
What? Okay, I wondered why it was saying, like, which has a spirit, has a soul. We push our will to change a world which has a spirit, has a soul.
That's the Gaia hypothesis.
I see. Wow, that's really cool. I actually really like the lyrics.
Yeah. And then it says, right there, giants hold claim to sky and ground, which would be us. We're saying that we own the world.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I do lay claim to sky and ground, but that's not because I'm a giant. It's because Allah said so.
Right.
Let them have dominion over the birds.
Yep.
Which is the sky, and everything that creeps on the ground, which is the ground. So, from a biblical perspective, human beings are created, like the world stage is set up simply for human beings to inherit.
Yeah.
And so the idea is that God rules in heaven, and that human beings as his image bearers rule on the earth. Now, that does not mean we get to abuse the earth. We're supposed to subdue and beautify the earth.
Right.
Because when God rules in any given area, he always beautifies it. He always brings order out of chaos.
Right.
So when God tells us to rule the earth, he's telling us to beautify the earth and basically finish creation, if you want to get super technical. We're not supposed to go and just clear cut forests and do all this. But then again, there's the other aspect of, well, industry and advancement, we wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff without human advancement.
No, I think that, but there's I think a balance between what we need and what we take. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't need a MacBook. I don't need a camera.
No, I understand that. Well, we do because of what we're doing.
Yeah, but we don't
We
need
wouldn't be able to reach all these people that we're reaching.
That's my point. Is you've got to nuance it a little bit more than just what we need, in the sense of we don't need any of this stuff to survive. We're not minimalists.
Yeah, no, I just think that there's so many areas in which we take more than what we actually need, which is why obesity is an issue. What?
Well, no, I agree. Like, functionally speaking, we consume more than what we need for actual function. And what I mean by that is, the whole idea of the Native American, he kills a buffalo, but he uses the skin for this, he uses the fur for that, he uses the hooves for this.
Yep.
Everything has a function that you're consuming it for function. Whereas that's not the current state of post-industrial, the Western world.
No, but when you live like that, like it's the same as like when you make a garden for yourself and you raise your own produce and you're using it. Like there's a certain level of like satisfaction that comes from it. Like back when I was doing the garden, I also would like, if I cooked a chicken, I would take all the bones from the chicken. I would take whatever leftover, like whatever meats were like too small to, and I'd boil that down and make a broth out of it, and then make a soup out of it, and then take the stuff from the garden, and like combining all that stuff. And it's actually a really wholesome, fulfilling feeling to know that you used it down to, instead of just throwing this away. Hey, just so you guys know, Vinny has 2 trash cans, one for trash and one for cans. I know that's not true recycling, but that is a step in the right direction.
We're getting there. Shout out to Nabla Scars.
Right. The mother song.
Yeah. Then there's another one. In Truth of a Desolate World is where the legend will grow. No cover from the sun, right? Because we deforested everything.
Yeah.
I think there's one, that's where the whole trees grow back thing came from. We were talking about deforestation.
Yeah.
And then the big homie M. Death fan said, well, trees grow back.
Right. That was on one of the firesides.
Yeah, we cut down these like 600-year-old trees, and then here comes the big homie, trees grow back. If you want a trees grow back shirt, it's there in the store. We actually have them. True story.
It's in our Teespring stores. Look
actually,
over below us.
Here's a picture. This is the trees grow back shirt. So that's the backstory.
There's different colors. There's different
There's a couple shirts and stuff like that where like the forgive ha.
Yeah.
Like, you have to actually know what actually happened to understand it.
Right, right. Yeah, I think it should be in the description beside it so people know which video to watch to see.
Yeah. We'll put a link in it and we'll timestamp it. But no cover from the sun. Now this is a cool line. Carcass fields of fallen ones. Biding time, seeds remain, tyrants fall, earth reclaims. You get it?
Yes.
The carcasses of the trees.
Yeah.
But then they're just biding their time because the seeds still remain.
There.
Because trees grow back. And
boom, he was right.
Right, mashallah, tabaraka, buddy. So that means the tyrants fall and then the
earth reclaims its ground.
Yeah. Like
Which you see that
when we're out of here.
Yeah, you do see that anywhere. Like, you'll see sometimes when you're walking in the woods, deep in the woods, you'll see this cabin that's like all grown up around, and it's like you're like, I wonder what this was in its glory. You know what I mean?
Of course, we'll get the last laugh because we're putting all this nuclear waste and stuff that makes it completely arid and unable to grow anything.
Yeah.
The VEKTOR guy didn't put that in there in the song.
He did.
But it's very interesting because this song obviously clearly takes the side of the of Gaia over and against Adam, you could say.
Yeah.
And I think there's got to be a way, because I do, like, both sides seem to be extremist to me.
Balance.
Both sides are extremist to me, like because you have the right-wing evangelical Christians that don't care about climate change, don't care about global warming, don't care about abusing the planet at all. Well, God gave us dominion.
Right.
It's like, you don't even realize what you're saying. Like, you're saying that God would come and just wreck everything, destroy everything, pull everything up by its roots and be wasteful and destructive. Like, that's what you're saying God does. Obviously, that's not true. If you tell any of these right-wingers, they'd be like, no, that's not what God, no, I don't believe that about God. So, but then you have the other hand of people who just seem to say, we all need to die because we're so terrible. We've done all this terrible stuff on the earth, so we should just all die, and that's the only solution. It's like, is there a middle ground? Like, all of us benefit from human progress and ingenuity. And a lot of that skyrocketed in after the Industrial Revolution. It did. That's a fact.
Yep.
But there are a lot of bad aspects and negative aspects of the Industrial Revolution that we had to contend with and that we corrected. I think we did a pretty good job with child labor laws and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And, eventually we got the minimum wage and, inshallah, the capitalists won't take that from us. I was talking to one guy and he was like, yeah, we shouldn't even have a minimum wage. Okay.
I think that, like,
it's a brilliant song.
Obviously we believe the Christian way of thinking that the world is going to get better and better and better.
Well, the post-millennial Christian way of thinking, yeah.
That the world is going to get better and better and better. And so if that's true, eventually minimum wage won't be something that we need. Because if you love your neighbor, you're not going to have to be told, this is the bare minimum. You can pay him and get away with it.
Right. Well, the other side of that is that I truly believe we're going to figure out an economic system that is post-capitalist, post-Marxism. They're going to take the best of all of them, and there's going to be a new economic system that's just and fair and then distributes wealth equally so that everybody is wealthy to a degree.
Yeah.
And so, but I also believe that environmentalism is going to be a major, that the church is eventually going to figure out that environmentalism is a gospel issue.
Oh, I agree.
And very important.
I think it is, yeah.
But once we get rid of this rapture theology where people are just going to get zapped, and if you hold to that, I'm not mad at you. But I do think it has
implications.
Negative implications, one of which is we don't care about the earth because it's all going to get burned up anyway.
Yeah.
And then once we get rid of that and go, crap, we're supposed to fill the earth and beautify the earth and take care of it, then right-wing Christians are going to have a different ideology on how to engage with our planet. And I think that that's important. So, there you are. What do you give the song?
I was going to give it a 6, but I bumped it to a 7 because I liked the beginning and ending.
This is a 8.8 for me. 8.8. Brilliant lyricism, brilliant guitar work. It was insane. Insane. I might post like a 20-second clip of what we're working on.
Oh.
On Instagram. I don't know.
You can't post me yet.
Okay. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.